Interflux needs a publishing intervention. Hi everyone, I'm Jacob, I'm the CowHatLibrarian, and I thought it would be fun to take another look back at one of my all-time favorite books from the past. And while I wasn't ambitious enough to dig out my old copy of it, it is The Son of Interflux by Gordon Korman. It was originally published in 1986, and it looks like the most recent time it was republished was in 2006, nearly 20 years ago at this point. As the story starts, Simon Irving has a problem. He's smart, he's reasonably attractive, he drives a cool car, he's a fairly talented artist, but his dad is a senior vice president at Interflux, a mega corporation that makes Walmart look like small potatoes. And the funny thing is, Interflux isn't known for a thing. It is not known for making phones. It is not known for making shoes. It makes little gadgets that work with other things and enable them to do things. They make hinges to connect doors and doorways, gear tooth wheels to perforate boxes, and amazingly, zipper teeth, where they create most of the zipper teeth for the entire planet. And Simon wants no part of Interflux. Interflux has caused him nothing but pain in his life. Everything in his house comes from Interflux and Interflux money. And there are people in his life who don't want to be his friends because of Interflux and all the things that they do. So when they move to a new town and Simon has an opportunity to apply to attend a special art high school, he's thrilled to be accepted. And his dad is less so, because he always felt that Simon was destined to join him at Interflux. So Simon attends the school. He makes friends with Phil, someone who shows potential for everything under the sun and fails at all of it, and Sam, who's a very, very talented painter, as long as he puts camels in the painting. And he begins taking his painting classes under Kurata, a famous and famously temperamental painter who teaches at the school, who rants and raves and tears students' pieces to shreds verbally and tries to build them back up again. And on occasion is known to throw chairs away because students skip classes and the students have to pretend that they are sitting for the remainder of the class. In the course of things, Simon meets someone in his class who's doing a painting, an abstract that shows various land holdings in and around the school area. And he's been frustrated because Interflux is going to bulldoze the woods near the school to create a bunch of storage warehouses for their zipper teeth and the like. But this painting, this silly abstract painting by a classmate, shows that there's this weird shape of land that Interflux doesn't own. This one small bit of property that can block their industrial expansion. So Simon makes up a story, all but steals money from the student council by sweet-talking Wendy Orr, the president, into giving him access to the money to be their event coordinator, and buys the land to block the expansion. And as things go on, his dad finds out that he's behind it. Son of Interflux is a compelling, well-written, well-paced story. And it has so many timeless dynamics. Fitting in a new school, trying to deal with a challenging authority figure, a young man going up against his father for the first time. It has all these great things. It's a really good coming-of-age novel in a lot of ways. And it, like some of Korman's other works, notably Losing Joe's Place and Son of the Mob, sort of straddle the line between what I would call juvenile fiction and young adult fiction, sort of an intro to young adult themes, but without the heavy-handedness, without the drama. So why then hasn't it been republished in 20 years? Well, what I suspect. First off, I suspect that the cover from the 2006 re-release did the book no favors. It makes Simon look like he's about 10 years old, in my opinion. And that didn't help things at all. And honestly, though, aside from that, there isn't much that dates this book badly. There's a reference to Nathan, a talented film student at the school, who's creating a massive epic called Omni, who shoots on beta, which ideally, if you were republishing and you wanted to update the story for modern audiences, either you would remove that reference or make a reference to him being committed to more analog ways of doing things, practical effects, old school filming equipment, and the like. And the only other thing is that Phil's car seems to break down quite frequently, and he's left in positions where he can't get a hold of people. And in a world of cell phones, that comes across as something that wouldn't happen quite so regularly these days. And again, it wouldn't take much if Korman chose to update it for a modern audience. A small reference about Phil's phone being as reliable as his car, or the places where he does get stuck having lousy cell coverage, or any number of other small details. Those are literally the only things it would take to make it a book that takes place now as opposed to in the mid-80s. And even that, is it really necessary? I don't think so. I don't think the book is aged badly at all. The themes are still relevant. The conflicts Simon faces are fairly universal, and the story itself is compelling and well told. And there are going to be some spoilers ahead as I lay it out for you. So after Simon's dad learns that he is involved with this effort to block the Interflux expansion, that he is the head of Interflux, he starts putting pressure on the mayor to start requiring Interflux to meet various regulations about land ownership in the town, to comply with the rules about fencing and weed maintenance, to provide some kind of business because it's slated for commercial development, to find something that's culturally relevant to the community. And one by one, Simon and his friends find ways around these things. They make a work bee where everyone shows up to cut the grass and build a fence. They start a worm store to sell bait for fishermen to fulfill the commercial side of things. They start planning a art and culture center with all the art and performances and other things from their school. And one by one, they push back against Interflux and the requirements from the city. Meanwhile, Simon is also dealing with Wendy, who is incredibly mad that he co-opted the student council fund. So Simon has to figure out ways to keep her from hurting him, because she is so angry she might give it a try, and also how to figure out how to deal with the fact that he kind of has a crush on her, and he thinks she does too if it weren't for the whole money issue. And to deal with how to tell his friends that in fact he is the son of Interflux. I still like the book years after I first read it. I'd love to reread it, and I would love it if Korman would make it available for modern audiences to experience as well. Just to Mr. Korman and to his publisher, make the cover more appealing to the older crowd, and don't make Simon look like he's 9 years old this time. Now, barring that, I certainly suggest that you borrow it from your public library. While I'm on that topic, if you use and appreciate the services offered by your public library, why not take just 1 minute and tell the powers that be exactly that? Tell your mayor, tell your council member, tell your MP or MLA that you use and appreciate the services offered by your public library. We're at a time where some public libraries are having trouble finding sustainable funding to continue improving the materials, programs, and services they offer, and a few good words in the right ears might make a world of difference. Now, if by some chance you're a library staff member, don't forget, watching my videos counts as professional development time. With that, thanks for indulging me on this blast to the past. By all means, please like, please subscribe, and please check back to see what else I have to talk about from the CowHat Library. Thank you. Bye now.